Man Tools is brought to you by
EXO AutoWorks. EXO AutoWorks is Colorado Springs' home of the $40 synthetic blend oil change. Call now, 719-375-3232, or visit exoautoworks.com to make your appointment.
It's about that time of year again when it's going to start getting real cold, and you're going to hope that your heat is working optimally. Not to worry, we actually offer a BG product to clean out that heater core, and then that way you can have nice hot heat this winter.
Madrid Maintenance. Madrid Maintenance offers excellent handyman service in the Colorado Springs area, starting at just $45 an hour. You can reach them by phone at 719-963-2020 or online at facebook.com/Madrid Maintenance.
Trevor's Beard is brought to you by The Beard Struggle. The Beard Struggle is his go-to for beard hygiene and styling products, so you should click the link below and use the code TLANE15 for 15% off your order.
Enharmonic Studios. Enharmonic Studios is a hybrid digital analog facility designed to be quality and affordable to anyone who wants to make history. Call today, 719-963-2020, or go to facebook.com/Enharmonic Studios.
From EXO AutoWorks. Streaming all over the world.
Coming for you, globalist!
It's your weekly dose of toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
With Eric Madrid.
Because if too many people are just running around with their dicks out, it's called the Harambe variant.
And Trevor Lane.
No. A of Karen's.
It still makes me giggle every time.
I'm glad I could do that.
So I got hemmed up. Somebody was asking me about the intro. Oh, hi everybody. Welcome to Man Tools here at EXO AutoWorks, broadcasting live for you every Thursday at 7:30 Man Tools Standard Time.
That's correct.
Now, somebody hemmed me up about the intro. And like, what do you mean the Harambe variant? And that's not funny if people have their penises out. I'm like, okay, let me just put you, like, you obviously didn't watch the show. Because I think it's goddamn hilarious if somebody's got their penis out. Like, this is hilarious. Because obviously, that's just the funniest thing ever. No, bitch. What happened was the guy was trying to compare apples to starbursts. Like, it was, well, if somebody has a mental, yeah, remember he said, if you're, you need to get a vaccine to cure this virus. Well, we need a vaccine for, people running around with their dicks out. I'm like, so I made a joke. It'd be the Harambe variant. It got all the laughs.
Yeah.
Both of us laughed.
We did.
That's all of us. Oh, jeez. Anyway, so not to make this too long, because we've got a really awesome guest in the house, a Renaissance man of sorts, even though he's Canadian. Yeah, I went there. Our upstairs neighbors, those guys make all the noise. Shut up there. She's like, they have the better party. You know what I mean?
Actually very quiet and polite.
They got way better beer. Their ham is bacon, whatever, is so much better. They import the best fucking music to our country. Seriously. All the good bands. Even we don't bag on Nickelback on this show, because the only thing we're mad at Nickelback is they need to save some hit songs for the rest of us aspiring artists. That's it. Yeah. Anyway, without further ado, we have Nathan Green. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, we're sorry about your Instagram numbers. They instantly plummeted right after we introduced you on this show. So, any relation to Red Green?
No. Although both Canadian, right?
The greatest Canadian television program ever, in my opinion. I aspire to be that guy. Can't wait till I'm old and curmudgeonly and drive my little white van. Yeah, that's gonna be great. I even wore the flannel.
You know, like there's some like classic Saturday Night Live personalities that are Canadians, and like it's funny how the cultures kind of intersect that way. Like, anyways,
Well, some of the best years of Saturday Night Live were actually, in my opinion, when Lauren was involved with the Kids in the Hall and had them writing for SNL.
Yep.
My humble opinion.
Well,
but that's classic SNL. I mean, like you're going back now.
Yeah.
Well, that's like not back, but
It's a ways. Back in the 90s, that's like 30 years ago.
I'm talking like 70s, bro.
Well, okay.
I got to remember I'm the old man in the room.
That's way back.
Speaking of old man, you have a very long list of amazing accomplishments. You don't look old enough to have that much education. You look good, bro.
I just like school.
I'll say we were like, God, you should be old and great. You're an engineer.
I've got a degree in engineering. I'm not an engineer. Like you got to do like 7 years of post qualification training for that. It's a huge deal. So I have a degree, but I'm not an engineer.
So instead of that, you went to law school.
Yeah. I did a year of practice after I graduated from engineering, and decided, you know what, this isn't for me. Wrote the LSAT, did well on it, figured what the hell I'll apply, got into law school, and was like, yeah, this is amazing.
Excellent. So you're practicing up in Toronto, correct?
Yeah.
All right, guys. No free advice for you Americans, because the rules are different.
Very, very different. It's funny. Like you guys, I always love, like reading the big Supreme Court decisions in the United States and like seeing how people talk about and conceptualize and think about the law. Like you guys have so many issues about standing, and like that's just not a thing in Canada. Not in there's like a little bit of a standing argument sometimes, but not in the way in the US. Like that's like half of your litigation.
Yeah, I mean, you guys just lazy and sit down. I'm on today. Hooray.
It's very fun to see like a legal system that's very concerned about who can make an argument instead of like, well, wait a minute, what's the argument?
Yeah, what is the argument? Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we have
are you the right person to be making it? Like, and is this the right place for you to be making it? Like, I mean, let's spend a lot of time on that question.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of don't look at the guy behind the curtain. No,
Well,
pay no mind.
There's a lot of I think one of where that kind of comes from with the American court system is the tendency to, well, if I can get away with not doing something, I'm going to. And that even includes people sitting on the bench. They're like, well, if I can find a way to not do this,
yeah. That's kind of the American way, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
It's so bad.
I mean, that's
Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh no, I was going to say like that's, like the conservative argument. It's like, well, let's do small incremental changes instead of, and let's keep it to the very smallest ruling. I mean, it's a very like legally conservative. It's a very conservative position.
Yeah, we had a television commercial. You guys probably did, T-Mobile, I think it was. If firefighters ran Congress, hey, yo, Detroit says they need clean water. We good for clean water? Everybody good? All right, cool. This job is not hard at all. Like a bunch of Brooklyn, firefighters running the government.
they just get it done.
They just get it done. I'm like, yeah, why? There's just so much. I don't know. There's a lot of grandstanding. The television show Suits. It's sort of a man drama, all about lawyers, corporate lawyers in New York. And that's fun because that's kind of what I wanted to do when I was 22. And then rock and roll music took my life a different direction. So now I'm broke. Anyway, but I really wanted to do that. And, the corporate merger thing and just doing all that kind of stuff. And that show is fun because there is a lot of the grandstand. There's not a lot of lawyery stuff. There's all this behind the scenes swindling and making deal stuff, and you're kind of like, is that how it really gets done? We're just gonna do all this stuff over here, off to the side, off the table. It makes me wonder. Nobody's seen Suits?
I don't believe I have.
Is
Is that the one where the main character a dude who didn't actually go to law school?
Yep.
He just passed the bar.
Yep.
Which is not a thing.
Yep. Exactly. It's a classic television. First 3 seasons are great. The rest is shit. Like it's classic. So you'll fall off, and it doesn't matter.
You watched it up to the point where you quit, and that's probably where it should have ended.
Probably where it should have ended anyway. But the reason I started watching it was because the lady from Firefly's on there, Zoe.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like the head lawyer lady. So yeah.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic actress.
Like you don't remember that she was in Firefly after about 10 seconds. You're just like, geez, this is Jessica Parker. Like this isn't, what was her name? Zoe. Yeah. I do. I like her. I like her a lot. She's quite good. I like the other dude too. Whatever. Next.
So besides having an engineering degree and being a lawyer, you also do a little bit of writing
in his free time, ladies and gentlemen. He's an award-winning author, science fiction writer.
In fact, you, according to Amazon, just released a book.
Yeah, Woe to the Victor, out on Thursday, like a week ago. So
Yeah.
It's been a crazy week dealing with launch stuff, and it's been fantastic.
Now let me ask you this: I'm curious about this because I've self-published music, and the way that worked, I went through a third-party thing called Reverb Nation, where you gave them a bunch of money, and they would put your song out on all the streaming services. But the one thing that bugged me was, at least when you did it that way, they could not pin down a date that like it was going to hit. It was just like, Amazon has it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
That's great.
They still
Can I like promote it when it comes out?
No.
And start saying, hey, watch for my album to be on Amazon? And they're like, no, that's not a thing. So I'm always curious if that's a thing with publishing books. Like, did you know
What date's your book?
That is, you're right. That's still an issue in the book industry when you use Amazon. They won't tell you the date that they're going to release a soft cover copy. So they'll say once you approve it for upload, it'll be dealt with within 72 hours. And if you know what you're doing, you don't have to worry about them rejecting it. But 72 hours is a pretty big window for like, at some point this is going to go live and
Right.
I'll get an email and like, what it could be 1 a.m. on Sunday. Like it could be, 10 p.m. on Monday. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Basically the same.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah.
At least you got 72 hours for a book. Audio stuff is a little bit ridiculous with Amazon. They, or when you do what are those guys called? Those indies that help you put all DistroKid and all those CD Babies, all those places. They give you a 2-week to 6-month lead time for propagation for all of your digital product. It's nuts. So we've had other folks that are doing, they'll launch it on their own. Wordfire Press is a really good publisher. I don't know if you know them yet, but you might want to look into them. Wordfire Press. And they will publish it to their site, and then so everybody, hardcore fans can get stuff early, and then you can do Patreon stuff, and you can do like one of the books we did for our audiobook, we had the edits, all the handwritten, all the stuff we did, and then use that as like a Patreon gift for somebody who one of the randos, they got an extra thing from Kevin's book. So it's it'll drop first, and then they just wait for Amazon for the general public. So it kind of works out nice.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, Brandon Sanderson gives out like early versions of his books with the stuff, so you can see like how he edited it and like where he made changes, but not with like the handwritten edited notes. And I always kind of wondered, like, how many people are that into editing of books? Because, like, I'll, as I'm going through like multiple revisions and drafts, it's like, would someone actually be interested to see this? Like, would someone be oh yeah, I can see why you scratched out that sentence, and I can see, oh yeah, that was clunky, and then you change it around, and now it works. Like
one thing that does work for us is that it's the book's already done. It's for the audio book, so it was all of the where the author or the orator or whoever was reading I had to mark it and check it off, and then they went marked and checked off edits, and we did all that stuff. So it's this one thing that we both were using in the studio to edit and compile the finished product, and then so it's got a little bit more sentimentality for the super fan, and whoever donates to the Patreon to get your book published, like help you survive while you're worked out. It's been working out pretty good. I know a lot of fans that in the band and stuff, they want I had one band, I told them get a Kickstarter going and only do it for like $1,000 or whatever, and whoever's the first person to donate the $1,000 gets to come hang out with you in the studio for the weekend and be a fly on the wall. That was their donation, and then they paid for their studio time, and that person got to come in and hang out with us and just kind of get treated like royalty and just shown stuff and entertained for the day, and just got to be fanboy for one of his bands.
Something like that works.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you would want to do that as an author, because that means someone's at your house.
No, but if you're going to do your audiobook, you can go to the studio.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. That would be kind of cool. Watch me record the audiobook.
Sure. And I'll be entertaining, I'll be like, all right, well, we're doing this, we're checking this out, and help me mark the page or whatever. Like,
right.
It's a lot of fun.
Now, the other cool thing that I saw that you do is, and I found this very unique. You also write a sci-fi blog in addition to your books. And I didn't have the chance to read it. I just checked out your site, and but it's definitely something that I'm very interested in. Is this the kind of thing where I can pick up where you're at, or do I need to like go to entry 1?
Yeah, go to entry 1, okay. Which is a little unfortunate. So what I was doing is the Artemis 1 mission, and I don't know how much you know about this, but NASA's going back to the moon. Mm-hmm. But and they've been trying to do this for years and years now. I mean, very long standing, and they spent a grotesque amount of money doing it. And Artemis 1 is like the fully complete spaceship, fully complete rocket. They don't have the landers and stuff like that, but like this is the spaceship, and they're sending it up unmanned, and they're just doing the first mission as like a test flight. And they've got like a mannequin sitting in the commander seat, and they named the thing Moonikin. And the reason is because like it's a little too dangerous to send men up with it. Like they just did the math on it. It came back bad, and they were like, well, fine, we'll do it as a dress rehearsal. We'll see how the biggest heat shield NASA has ever made. Let's see how that holds up, off of the computer simulations and in real life before we put men in it or women in it. So I said to myself, well, what if like that's like an obscene waste of money? Like there's something about that where like everyone wants to go to the moon. That's like every engineer at NASA, that's their dream in life. and you're saying you've got 3 empty seats that you're sending up on a moon mission and there's nothing in them. And so I imagined, like, okay, well, what if an engineer swapped out the mannequin in this flight suit, put on a plastic mask, and just, kind of sat there still until they launched and stowed away. And then, so this is what this project is. And every day I'm kind of live blogging the mission, where the events that are actually happening are the backdrop for the fictional story unfolding. And I deviate, I'm not perfect. There are some events that, didn't actually happen, and it's for, dramatic effect. But you can kind of follow along the mission that way and learn a bit about the mission itself, while at the same time, kind of getting an Andy Weir style, like the Martian space adventure.
Fun.
Very cool. Yeah.
So my buddies and I, we're always arguing about this. I haven't read your books yet. Trevor ambushed me, as he does every single week, with who's the guest and what the topic is.
This one was set up rather quickly.
Yeah, but he always does. And I prefer it that way, so I can just react versus research. So what is, are you, in your books, are you FTL travel?
Yes.
Okay. What would be your engine, real quick, just for my edification? Nobody's gonna care but me, because we sit in the truck, my buddies, that we go to work, we argue about it constantly.
Yeah, and
like, and like, because we're like Dune, they fold space. Star Trek, they have warp, they have hyperspace, they have probability drive. Yeah, it's one of the things we just totally latch onto.
Sure. In one of my books, The Galileo, it's a warp drive. And in another one of my books, Woe to the Victor, it's something called a quantum vortex, which, is kind of conceived as like a wormhole, but like a quantum wormhole. So that would be like an instant jump. My third book, Treason's Temple, is it doesn't have FTL. It's kind of set in the future in America, but it's grounded, no spaceships.
All right, I like the quantum one. Warp drive's easy. Well, I mean, warp drive's easy.
Do you think like people would actually go to space if there wasn't warp? Like, if you couldn't actually go FTL, you're going to be in like a refrigerator or something, or even just like a generation ship. Do you think people would actually sign up for it?
Man, there have been people in California that drank a lot of Kool-Aid, so I'm pretty sure you could get some folks to get in a space rocket ship and zoom off to, some planet. Yeah. I would volunteer for a generation ship right now. I'm an old man. I would do it. I just want to get out as far as I can just to see if I can. So, but I also have my own, I have a problem with warp. I have a problem with, what was the one? Even folding space, because we keep moving. We're moving horribly fast. So coordinates change ridiculously. It's a hard, like, we have to invent the computer that could do it, figure out calculations of, because think about it, from the time we started this podcast to the time we didn't, we've probably moved 45,000 miles that way in space-time. Like,
well, depending on your coordinate system. I mean, so it's a really interesting thing, because depending on how you want to do the math, you're not moving at all, or you're moving very fast, or you're moving at like an indeterminate speed. Like, there's no universal coordinate system. It's actually it's kind of mind bending for me, at least when I start thinking about it, because you can't answer the question of how fast you're going without reference to something else that is like that you could grab with your hand, almost like the sun.
I would interject that when you talk about the folding space, I assume you mean Dune style.
Yeah,
okay,
the Dune style.
In that case, those giant brain guys, I don't know that they need to
sperms.
I don't know that they need to know the coordinates. I think they just go, I'm going to Dune, or I'm going to what was the other planet? Arrakis is Dune's actual name, but
yeah,
Caladan or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know that I think they just psychically go, I want to go here, wherever that is in space.
And it just works.
And it just works. You know what I mean?
You know, Star Trek took out the it's just not mentioned at all ever that, you know, space is expanding and you have to travel further every time you leave home a certain direction. Like I don't know. There are other plot holes in Star Trek that we talk about in the truck. I think we're going to start a podcast just called Dudes and Dash Cam and Dudes or something like
Dudes in a Truck.
Dudes in a Truck, because we just talk about the dumbest shit on the way to work, like the plot holes in Star Trek. Yeah. Nerds.
Yep.
Nerds. Oh, getting back to something you said earlier, with the whole law thing, we just have this big joke, you know, because everything's a law, everything's regulated, everything's ruled, everything. We just, anytime something goes sideways or does this or does that, we're just like, hey man, state law, bro. That's state law, man. Anytime ever. Oh, no, you got to do it that way. Why? State law, man. Like, home of the free, right? Ugh. Oh, geez. Well, let's see. Yeah, you mentioned your 3 books. I think we got some time.
More than 3.
Well, no, he had mentioned his 3, and then the 4th one is out as of what, today? Yesterday?
No, the third one's the third one's out the last week, and then I've got a novella, but you know, whatever. The novella isn't even really science fiction. That's like Winston Churchill wakes up in bed one morning to discover he died in his sleep and he's now a ghost, and then he's goes on an adventure. It was just it was something I wrote for fun. You kind of clear your brain every once in a while.
We will hunt on the beaches. We'll hunt in our shorts. We'll haunt you in the shower. Whatever.
That sounds fun.
I know, right?
Well, and like the cool thing about Winston Churchill, he's got such a distinctive voice, right? So you immediately start impersonating him, and it's fun. It's like really fun to like write an impersonation of Winston Churchill.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
And he was weird.
I mean,
have you read those stories about his what do they call it? The Bohemian, like where he'd call his secretary in and be naked, and not and supposedly not in even like a sexual way, just like what? It's hot. We don't have air conditioning. Calm down.
Yeah, haven't invented that yet. Come on.
And all the clothing's made out of wool. So
yeah, everything. I've got Harris tweed briefs on, bud. Like, come on. I don't think they ever made Harris tweed underwear, but that would have been funny if they did. So we, at this point in time, Nathan, we are going to jump over and pay some bills, and then if you'd like, we'd love to have you stick around. We might do some news, and we might play a little game.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think we might just play our game.
Okay, sounds good. All right, on to paying the bills from our awesome sponsors. Right. Thank you guys so much. Buttons aren't toys, Trevor. Come on.
Found it.
On my way over here, my brakes made an awful noise, and the last time I got them done, it was so expensive.
You should go to EXO Auto Works. They did a great job on mine, and it was way cheaper than anywhere else I've been.
That sounds great. I need to get their number from you.
At EXO Auto Works, we offer the best price on brake service in town. We include brand new brake pads, rotors, and hardware, which saves you money and gets you on the road faster. See our website for a full list of our services. Call EXO Auto Works today.
This is Vinny. He loves his beard. He loves his woman, and she loves him. But Haiti doesn't like the look and feel of his beard. Wait a minute. What's this? It's Day Liquid Tonic Beard Oil from The Beard Struggle. That's gonna alleviate dry skin and irritation. What you got now? It's Warrior's Beard Butter from The Beard Struggle. That's gonna make his beard soft and fluffy. And what's this? The Carbon X heated beard brush from The Beard Struggle. That's gonna straighten those curls. There's more. The Voxter Beard Growth Accelerator from The Beard Struggle. That's to stimulate hair growth. The Beard Struggle helps to build relationships. Used by thousands of men worldwide. Order online now from thebeardstruggle.com.
Use the code TLANE15 for 15% off your order.
All right. This is part of our cool stuff because I didn't know where else to put a game.
Well,
but it's cool stuff, which, as usual, is brought to you by Top Extracts. Top Extracts is a premier Kratom and CBD product supplier. And you can learn more about Kratom and get some at kratom.mantoolsmedia.com. And with that, we will skip ahead to our game. So the name of this game is Guess Her Charge. And this is based on there's a awesome Instagram account that I encourage everyone to follow called Mug Shawtys.
Shawtys.
For those that aren't sure what a mug shawty is, it's a attractive young lady who got herself in some trouble, and now her mugshot is in the public domain because that's how that works. So we are going to play Guess Her Charge. We're going to I'm going to bring up an image of one of these ladies, and because I've already seen it, I will not be participating in the guessing, but Nathan and Eric will take their best guess.
What do we win?
You win bragging rights that you won the game. That's what you win.
I think we're getting ripped off, bro.
So we'll start with our first subject here. So what do you think she's been charged with in this mugshot?
Go ahead, Nathan.
Any guesses?
I
mean, it could be anything.
I'm going to get drunk driving. I figure, just statistically, that probably makes up a huge number of offenses where, I'll drunk driving.
All right, I'll be offensive and say jaywalking.
Jaywalking. Let's see. Driving while license suspended or revoked.
Oh, you win that one. You're closer.
So,
all right, point Nathan. Walking.
Oh, I can't just be a driving offense. Everything's going to be a driving.
Yeah,
offense.
that's I think you need
that,
to hit it.
When you said statistically driving, so I was like, yeah, probably.
It's not going to be, it's not going to be murder.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see who's next.
All right.
Yep. Murder.
I'll guess can I? Yeah, I can't just say a drug offense. I'll guess drug possession.
Drug possession. Okay, let's see. Driving without a license again. I should have combed through that a little better.
No point.
Should add those two in a row.
No, that was a good. Sneaky.
Out of curiosity, do you guys get pulled over just for the cops checking you out and not issuing you a ticket or something? Because I've gotten pulled over once in my life. It was when I dipped down into the United States to visit family, and no ticket, no charge, just inquisitive cops.
Yeah,
license plates. So on tour,
there's a speaking of standing, I think that comes from there's a court case that established a precedent that safety on the road is more important than any of your rights. So they just go, that means we can pull everybody over for safety.
That's their probable cause. If a long time ago, not so much anymore. If you had green license plates, Colorado has a green license plate, and you left Colorado, you're going to get pulled over. They thought you were muling,
You had weed.
no matter what.
Because we were one of the only states that had legal weed.
So, yeah, band on the road on tour every 45 miles, just getting pulled over.
Fun story. My brother found himself in some Dutch. I won't go into all the details, but he got pulled over because he had a legalize the marijuana sticker, and they said that was probable cause because everyone that wants it legalized is smoking it.
Which is funny.
They weren't wrong, I'll say.
They are wrong. I don't smoke
but
weed.
the fact that stood up in court was like, are you fucking serious?
Was that Kansas?
Wait, that stood up in court?
Colorado.
Oh yeah, that stood up as probable cause. Jesus. That was considered probable cause for pulling him over.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
You want it legalized, you must be using it.
So we were going to pull you over and check you out.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We have a good old boy system, especially in everywhere.
Yeah.
Cops and
whatever. He wasn't in court pro se either. He hired a lawyer and the whole bit, and the lawyer objected to it, but the judge was like, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's get our next subject. This one's my favorite. I'll just say that. Not because of the charges. I just like,
You like the bedroom eyes?
Yeah.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, I went first last time.
Okay. I'll guess drugs again. Drug possession.
Drug possession? Let's see.
I'm gonna say. Oh, geez. No, I can't think. It's those eyes. I'm gonna say shoplifting.
Let's see. DUI manslaughter. So she killed someone with her DUI.
Jeez.
As it says in parentheses there, a motorcycle struck her while she was driving, causing death. Wait, the motorcycle struck her? Interesting.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, all right. Well,
okay, DUI manslaughter.
Yeah.
Not funny.
No.
Stop laughing.
Wow. All right.
Stalking.
I could see that with that. Yeah. With that facial expression. All right. What's your guess, Nathan?
I'll say drunk driving.
Okay. Public intoxication.
Yeah, there you go.
So very close. If I imagine if she got further, she would have driven.
Do you get arrested for public intoxication? Like, I thought that was just a ticket.
Well, this says she got into a fight. So
okay.
So
it might be more than just public intoxication at play here.
But yes, you can.
Right. Yeah, I thought they'd nail you for like the fight or the assault or something.
Depending on
like
the county. Yeah. Depending on the county and depending on the cop. We have such a fluid system here. Like, if you're super nice and polite and you're holding a bag of weed in an illegal state and the cop's like, look, man, throw that on the ground real quick. And then you get a ticket for littering. Because the cops being really cool and because you were cool and everybody was cool. But then you get the guys that are trying to exercise some right. They've saw it on TikTok and they think they're going to be badasses. And they pull up to a checkpoint and they give the cop attitude, and then they get their ass handed to them on the curb.
The sovereign citizen.
Yeah, sovereign citizen. I'm a sovereign citizen.
The sovereign citizen. I'm traveling. It's like,
you're gonna get it. It really just depends. You kind of have to watch your ass.
Yeah, it's weird too because you got like 50 different jurisdictions. So like driving from A to B, you can go through 3 different like criminal law jurisdictions, no problem. All with similar laws, but technically different.
Yeah, so those 50 plus every county, every state has counties, which also have different rules.
No, really?
Swear to God. So
like ones that matter. Like it's not just like, oh well, you have to
Right.
trim your lawn and you can't water your
no,
lawn.
none of that stuff. But like El Paso County, wow, what is it? If you're caught with a certain amount of weed, because it's not, you have to have your medical card. It's not public consumption in El Paso County, but you go to Douglas County or Pueblo County, which is less than an hour away. You can do whatever you want. You can pick it up, grab a pound of weed if you got the money. Don't care. Here you go. Just don't drive back to Colorado Springs and have 6 ounces on you without a red card and 3 friends.
Yeah,
that's wild. I mean, so
I know.
in Canada, the criminal law is national, so it's a federal power. It's the same. It's the same law coast to coast, without variance.
If I'm not mistaken, Trevor, it's federally illegal to have weed.
Yeah, it's still against federal law to have marijuana here. The states have just gone.
States are like, we're gonna do whatever we want.
Yeah, it's strange. And like, what's interesting there too is, I'm a big fan of the 10th Amendment, which in our Constitution says that anything, basically any right that hasn't been given to the federal government falls to the states and the people, and it lists it in that order, which is where the idea that states can make their own laws comes from, and they don't necessarily. I mean, technically, I guess they're supposed to follow federal law, but as we've seen with marijuana, they're kind of like, well, are you going to try to enforce this? And the feds have said no.
At a federal level. Yeah. So it's like, well,
no, we're not. So I don't know. With some things, it comes in handy. And with other things, it just makes a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so, I mean, out of curiosity, like, do people generally like the idea that, like, yeah, my county, like, I like the laws we have in my county, and I'm happy that, my county is different from the county next door, and I'm happy that my state is different from the state next door? Or is it mostly like, you know what? I mean, if we had one set of federal laws that covered the entire nation, yeah, they might be suboptimal, but at least I'd know what it was, and I could just.
I would put it this way. That varies a lot depending on the issue, and with the county to county, probably not so much. But here's a good example with the recent overturning of Roe versus Wade. That basically brought the abortion issue back to the states. So now states can have whatever laws they want. They can ban it if they want. They can allow it up to 9 months if they want. They can do whatever they want. So on an issue like that, if you're pro-abortion, now it's potentially, if the state that you're in passes a ban and you're not, you're pro-choice as opposed to pro-life, you could move to the state next door where the laws are different. And, you know what I mean? Like, I think with kind of hotter button issues like that is where there are people that are like, this is my preference and I'll move to a state that abides by it.
Yeah, I'm talking more like, it's illegal to kick a dog or something, but not in Kansas. In Kansas, you can kick a dog, or whatever it is. I'm not saying Kansas, that's the law, but like.
Okay, well, in Colorado Springs, in El Paso County, it is illegal for you to walk your horse down Pikes Peak Avenue before noon on Sunday. Still on the books. Still on the books. You have to get, for rodeo day, remember that? When we have rodeo day here, the county makes a shit ton of money because they get a special dispensation for them riding around and doing parades and stuff. So they left it on the books. So bizarre.
Yeah,
so bizarre.
I don't
know. To answer your question in a sort of another way, you're gonna find, I feel like, because I always try to explain America to my foreign friends, a lot of European friends, and they're like, hey man, so what's going on over in Texas? I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know. It's 14 hours away. Like, your country, my buddies in Germany, like, you can get on a train in 4 hours, you can hit 3 countries, bro. Like, we travel 100 miles an hour, we're still in Colorado 4 hours later. Like, it's this big expanse that happened. And there are, I would say this, you will find more unity, more solidarity, and more communication over who's playing football this weekend across the United States than you will about our laws and regulatory actions. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
It's sad
Yes.
but true. Because if we have a hot button topic, everyone's gonna have their opinion. It's gonna be polarized by religion. It just
down here, yeah.
Down here, it just will be. Either you're for this or against this because your God said yes or no or whatever. It's a little bit. It is what it is. And we have a two-party system that's, I don't know, has been broken for a very long time, and the person in power, if they're lucky enough that how do I put this? If the party in power is lucky enough to have a seat on the judicial branch come up, they get to a point. So hopefully, for not in their term set, but in future term sets, they've secured their agenda. It's a little weird, but I think it's the best one we could come up with.
Yeah, and I think a lot of our issues with things like that really come from the Civil War, because take the slavery question out of it. I'm not getting into that, but it's a strange idea that you had a bunch of former colonies voluntarily become states in this union. And then about 100 years later, some of them said, we don't want to be in this union anymore. And the union went, fuck you, no, you have to stay. And that's a weird, like,
yeah.
Well, why? We volunteered to come in. Yeah, but you can't just leave.
Take the subject matter and the reasons out of it. Just look at it on paper and you're like, wait, this is really fucked up. This is really bizarre. You volunteered to join up with this union. So yeah, man, if you guys want to go do your own thing, fuck off. Like,
but no. And we'll go to war to prevent it.
Yeah.
So in Canada, Quebec is this interesting example because there's this question about, does Quebec want to separate? And generally speaking, the answer is no. But every once in a while, it gets up to the point where, like 40% plus of the Quebec population says, well, yeah, maybe we do, right? And so, then there's some talk, should we, have a referendum and see about this? And in the history of Canada, Quebec was kind of conquered. Like there was a fight with the French lost, and then that's that's kind of the origin story. So it wasn't like a voluntary union necessarily. It was more like a conquest thing. I'm butchering the history of it, but it wasn't the voluntary union in the same sense of the states coming together. So the question goes to the Supreme Court, like, can Quebec separate? And the Supreme Court comes back and they say, well, yeah, but you need like a majority plus. You need like a clear and convincing majority. So like 50% plus one, like probably not enough. But the U.S., the Supreme Court comes back on that question. It's like the one question the Civil War answered was states cannot leave on their own.
That's it. That's the one big one. Oh yeah, people aren't property.
Right.
Yeah.
On paper, but if you have a Discover card, you owe them their money every month. Indentured servants aren't really slaves. That's what it was. That's what it was.
All right. Well,
that's hilarious.
Let's finish our game.
Oh yeah, we have a game.
I think we only have one more.
Oh, all right. For all the money, prostitution.
All right.
Solicitation
for prostitution.
Yeah, she definitely looks like she works at TNT's.
I'll go with drunk driving.
Okay. And survey says
DUI causing property damages.
There you go.
Nathan Green for the win.
Got it.
For the win.
Oh, I
Game,
just
set,
had to
match.
statistically, I had to get it eventually.
Yeah, I would agree. DUI is going to be a safe bet at some point. In fact, the one time you deviated from it, it was a DUI.
DUI manslaughter.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
It's a shame people's mugshots get up online. Like that's doesn't help people get rehabilitated.
No,
it doesn't. I mean, it's all that stuff's public record. What it does help when it's public record like that is if you have a warrant out for your arrest, like that's handy.
Yeah.
Do
I
you?
suppose it is.
Yeah.
That's how you'd find out? Like, because they haven't taken your mugshot if there's just a warrant out for it.
No, what I'm saying is it's all public record and it's all online. Everything. All court stuff is public record. So it has to be updated daily. I was trying to get a job with the court system to do their audio video capture, mostly audio. So every court case, everything that happens in court is recorded and then backed up in Denver for this judicial district. And I was trying to get that job. And then they stopped hiring because of the coronavirus. So the bitches. But I digress. But everything's public record and it needs to be updated daily. So I make jokes about your warrant for your arrest, but I look at that website every once in a while because.
Well, and fun fact, if you show up to your ex-wife's hearing for a crime, she will be very upset with you.
What were you, a star witness?
No, I came
character witness
because there was at least potential that she could have been taken into custody.
And then you need to get the kiddos.
And then I needed to get my kid.
Yeah.
So much to her chagrin, I showed up at court when
knowing
she was
that she had a court date because it's public.
Because it's public record.
Public record. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
True facts about Trevor we never knew, folks.
That's right.
Sorry about all my fidgeting and squirming. I'm gonna go to the emergency care after this.
Your hand's that fucked up.
It's pretty bad.
All right. Well, we'll hit,
I rubbed some beer on it. It didn't work.
That didn't work.
Zach Wilde's a liar. Oh wait. No, we need more out of the Canadian bands, music stuff. Favorite bands, go.
Oh, I like Adele.
Yes.
And you heard about Celine Dion today? That's a shame.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't. What am I missing?
She has a incurable case of some odd thing that's gonna kill her soon. Which,
that's a bummer.
Yeah, that's total bummer. Because I mean, I don't know. She made her money. She's lived a pretty freaking rad thing. I don't know. Maybe this is my silver lining. Maybe this will kick her in the ass, so she'll do another record.
That would be cool.
Something good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The last hurrah thing. The one that the Rolling Stones have been doing for the last 30 years.
Well, speaking of history, we'll do the week in his story, and then we will end our show.
Perf.
So.
In the gutter, spinning right with the floor. It bursts into flames. Get it started. It's fire and it's fire.
All right. This week in his story is brought to you by our friends at Vaulted. Vaulted is an alternative. You know what? I'm going to get rid of that lower third because it's covering up Nathan's face. Vaulted is an alternative savings account and app for investing in physical deliverable gold, which, by the way, is stored at the Royal Canadian Mint until you decide to do something with it. So you know that it'll be safe. But we have quite a week this week. Some odd coincidences, I'll put it that way. And we're going to start with two of those the two odd coincidences. Let's Let's see, December 8th, 1980, John Lennon is shot to death
Yep.
outside his Manhattan apartment building. And here's where the coincidence comes in, or maybe it was planned this way. Also, December 8th, 2004, guitarist Dimebag Darrell was gunned down while performing with his band Damage Plan. The band's head of security, Jeffrey Mayhem Thompson, a fan named Nathan Bray, and venue employee Aaron Hulk were also killed, while 3 others were wounded before the gunman was dispatched by Columbus police officer James Niggemeyer. And that's his name. I didn't say a dirty word or a racist word.
They didn't put his name in the newspaper for like 3 days.
Oh, really?
The cop. Yeah, that was a thing. Do you remember where you were?
Were they worried about spelling it?
Yeah, they were. They were. Do you remember where you were when John Lennon died?
I was less than a year old.
So you don't remember.
So
Okay.
no.
Do you remember where you were when Dimebag died?
I remember where I was when I heard.
I remember where you were. You were watching my band play at Union Station.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh. We were on stage and then we heard like
I remember hearing about it in the car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Later that night.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. Where were you, Nathan, when Dimebag Darrell was killed?
No idea. I don't know if I've ever heard any of his music even.
You don't know Pantera?
No.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, from a guitar player's standpoint, sheer musicianship, it's good stuff, man. Good stuff. He was tricky. He was fun.
All right. December 9th, 2008. Governor of Illinois, Rod Blagojevich, is arrested on federal charges, including his attempt to sell the U.S. Senate seat that had just been vacated by President-elect Barack Obama, which I think is just how they do it in Illinois.
Yep.
It's kind of like Nixon. He just got caught.
He just got caught.
Doing the thing.
He's like, no,
everyone else does.
No, I wasn't trying to sell the seat, bro. I was trying to sell the seat, like the actual chair, bro. That's what I was doing. He didn't get away with it.
No. Let's see. December 10th, 1846. I found this very weird.
The Oregon Trail?
Well, no. Led by, sorry, maybe I should read the event. Led by religious leader Brigham Young, the first Mormons began their long westward exodus from Nauvoo, Illinois to Utah. Why would you do that in December? Like, that seems like the worst time to decide. Put it off to the next summer. You know what I mean?
At least till like March. All right, well, it's kind of getting warmer.
You know what? You might have to plant when you arrive. Maybe you need the food. Like you have to be there to plant.
Okay.
What was it, a 3-month trip?
I don't know, but
I don't know. If it were a 6-month trip, maybe. I don't. Well, regardless.
I thought it was we're going west just until
we're all dead.
Until we're talking a religious group. Until God says this is the spot, right?
Oh, by the way, Utah's the spot. Convenient. My uncle's got some property out there. Let's start a commune.
Let's see, December 11th. This was weird. I had no idea this had happened. December 11th, 1964. Frank Sinatra Jr. is returned home to his parents after being kidnapped and a ransom of $240,000 paid. Now later they would get the guys, and that money came back. But to get him back, Sinatra and I'm not sure who Frank Jr.'s mom is, but they forked up some money. And I had zero clue that ever happened. Let's see, December 12th, 1901, Italian inventor Guglielmo Marconi, I think I'm butchering that first name, received the first transatlantic radio transmission in St. John's, Newfoundland. It's from Canada.
Canadian connection.
Yeah.
Right? Is that when you guys laid some cable?
I think this was over the air.
And then you figured out water's a good conductor of electricity.
Let's see, December 13th, 1972. Astronaut Gene Cernan climbs onto his lunar lander on the moon and prepares to lift off. He is the last man to set foot on the moon until the Chinese have done an unmanned mission, and I think they're working on a manned mission. And obviously, we spoke earlier about Artemis.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yep. Artie's going to get there any day now.
We'll see.
Whatever. It's because we found Transformers on the moon. Hey, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer was a documentary, just so you know. Not to switch genres there, but
yeah.
I remember when that movie came out, I fucking warned you. Somebody was going to come at me with that.
What, that it was a documentary?
Yeah, the girlfriend's daughter's friend was like, well, isn't that about his life and stuff? I was like, oh, fuck. I about slapped her right there. I about swung on a 12-year-old. I was like,
you think vampires are real or what?
You think vampires are real? Oh, yeah, they sparkle.
Yeah. Let's see, December 14th, 2008. Iraqi broadcast journalist, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, throws his shoes at President George W. Bush during a press conference in Baghdad. Remember that?
Yeah.
He dodged both of them.
He did.
I thought that was a great moment for Bush. Like, it's always portrayed as like this scandal or like, you know, this embarrassing moment or something, a faux pas. Like, Bush dodged him. It was amazing. Yeah. He did a great job.
Yeah. You couldn't have done better.
He could have caught the shoe midair and thrown it back. That's only thing.
Jack Burton style. Who? Jack Burton.
24?
That's Jack Bauer. No.
Oh, okay. Jack Burton. Who's Jack Burton?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, yes. Okay. Like, who's Jack Burton?
Me, Jack Burton. Fucking love that.
Who? Yeah. That's a good flick.
Right?
All right. And of course, that brings us to the end of the week. And unfortunately, also brings us to the end of our show. So we'll get some sad music going here. If I can find something sad, we'll try this one.
Oh, it's super sad. Super sad. Nathan, thank you for joining us. I believe if you zooms in just a little bit, I could read that because I was on the computer way too late the other night. No porn. I was legitimately working. Audiobooks take forever to edit. I'm just going to say that. Let's see here. You can check out Nathan's work at author at nathangreen.com, correct?
Author nathanhgreen.com. But, to see my Amazon page, if you just Google Nathan H. Green, I should come right up.
There, Google the Amazons. We had a book released last week. And let's see, your Instagram is the same, right? Author Nathan H. Green?
Author Nathan H. Green, yeah. And my Reddit handle as well.
Okay, well, we'll link all of those up to the Man Tools stuff, and hopefully your numbers don't go down.
Well, thanks so much for having me. This was a blast.
Nah, super cool. Hey, if you haven't heard of them, they're the greatest modern Canadian rock band ever. They're called Big Wreck. Check them out. It'll change your life.
Will do.
Yeah. Just start back in 96 and work your way forward. They've been going that hard that long. It's good stuff. Thank you so much from up north, man, and staying up so late, right?
Yeah, no problem. It was great.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Nathan. And then check this out, guys. We've got some more stuff for you. We'd like to thank our sponsors, the XO Waterworks and Harmonic Studios, The Beard Struggle, Madrid Maintenance, Clip and Carry, Sheathless Holsters, Play Action Pools, Vaulted Gold Investments. All are wonderful sponsors of Man Tools. And if you want to get in on the NFL Pick'em Pool, go to playaction.pub/mantools and get your picks for the week and use the code TOOLS for 15% off any contest you create. Now, we'd also like to thank you guys that are members, local members. Man Tools at the Movies, How to Be a Man, which was a great movie,
That was fun.
is out now and on our locals page for just $3 a month. Please consider joining up. If you want to know where, go to links.co/mantoolsmedia or visit us at mantoolsmedia.com. Thank you for watching and or listening wherever you're pooping right now or later. And Trevor forgot to turn off YouTube. We're good.
Yeah. I kind of decided this was going to stay tame enough.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody. And credits.